What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, on today's video, we're going to be tearing apart the Miata engine that I took out, getting the trans off and getting everything off that we need, like the clutch and so on. And then from there, we're also going to start tearing apart the other Miata engine so we can get that one to the machine shop. We should be able to have that completely tore down today, and we should be able to get the trans and everything off we need from this engine. So we're actually going to start this this beater Miata that I had. This was my old Miata, and this was like the first one I ever had myself, and I love this thing. I had the wheels that I have on my Miata now, they were on this one, so it pretty much was just a slammed car. And the hardtop actually was blue at one point. I was thinking about putting it on my Miata for one day, but it just too cracked and beat up, so I'm not doing that. But we're gonna start this bad boy up because it still does run, even though it runs like poop. It's on its last life. We're gonna start it up. It's been a while.
It's really dead, huh?
Yeah, it's already killing the battery pretty quick.
Can we try one more time?
Yeah. But it's also going to be anybody's if they want to use it. It's absurd. At this point in its life. Give us a nice rev. The oil pressure's good.
It went up to 60.
So what we're going to do first, we're going to tear off this transmission. We're going to get this nasty ass thing out of here. It's going to get a nice cleaning. Yeah, it's definitely seen better days. This bad boy is dirty. Let me start tearing this bad boy off. I got to get my mounts off because these are aftermarket mounts that I have in there. So I got to get both of them off. We got to get this manifold off. So we're going to continue using that. We're going to take the intake manifold off. I don't know if I need to use it or not. I think it's the same on the other one. Regardless, I want to clean it all up, make it look nice and fresh. Like, I want this to be a nice, clean rebuild. I'm going to figure out if I am going to run this pipe or not, or if I can reroute it some other way. So if you look back there, that pipe literally is getting pushed up on the manifold, and it's literally just resting on it. I just thought I was recording, but I didn't. But they got your starter bolts. There's two right here. Well, there's three technically, but I only had two, so I only had one, two. But there should be one more up here. Either way, look at that gunky nastiness. Like, this whole thing, this whole setup is just nasty. Let's get this bad boy out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, for example, look at this nasty shit. It's just coated in oil. Like, this engine leaked its ass off. Like, this is a good example of what I mean by, look at this setup. Like, this whole setup is just like jank as hell. And I did buy this car with this engine in it. That's why we're fixing it now that I have it all out. I did have to put this transmission on point though. I do know that. Alright, so now that we got the transmission out of the way, what I'm going to do next is pop off these bolts for the clutch. And then from there, we'll get this flywheel off. And we'll take this plate off, because this plate can come off. You can only get it because it's bolted on, and you have to get the actual clutch off first. So let's get these bolts out. I'm just going to pop off this pressure plate. If I can get this to slide off smoothly. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. So, it's a spec. I was told it's a stage 4, but as you can see, it's a 4 puck. So, it's a little grabby, but don't look too bad to me. I mean, you can see here, it's got like minimal wear, nothing too bad. It's been in there for a little while. So, Same with here. This It's a little worn down, as you can see. It's definitely been used, but there's no heat spots or nothing like that, so that's good. Yeah. Oh. Shit. All up in the booty hole, baby. Fuck yeah. Bam! Ha-bam! Look at this crusty ass shit. Here, let me show you. Look at that bad boy. Shit dirty! Ooh, look at that. That's just hot. That's just hot as hell. Yeah. We're getting this nasty shit out of here. But what sucks is that we have to use a wrench for some of these bolts or nuts. Ouch. You bastard. Let's get this Johnny off. Yeah, buddy. So this is the CX Racing turbo manifold. It's their updated version, as you could say, and it's the thick wall one. Now the only difference is with mine versus the normal one is that mine we added an external wastegate spot. So normally this would be just a solid piece. We're gonna pop off this intake manifold because I do notice there's some differences between the US intake manifold and this one. So we're gonna take this bad boy off and we're gonna continue using this bad boy. Alright, now are you coming out? Are you coming out or you gonna be a bitch? Ah, there you go. And then lastly, I'm going to pop off the injectors. We need to reuse these injectors to at least start the car once I get it all together, because my ECU is set for these injectors. After I get it started and I get my little braking period done and I'm ready to get it tuned, like full on tuned, I'll take these out and I'll put the aftermarket ones that I have, and we'll go from there. I might even get a different fuel rail because this fuel rail is very small. But if you see these bolts on the end of the bolts, there's spacers right at the end. Oh nice, it's dropping fuel everywhere. But there's spacers on the end and we need to keep that together. This car is running on all the 1.6 liter accessories. It's running on the 1.6 liter, pretty much everything accessories. So we're going to continue using that. It said it's been working fine. We're going to stick to it because from my understanding you got to take the whole body harness out and everything, and that's just too much right now. So the last thing we want to take off of this engine for now will be the coil packs, and then from there we're going to work over to this engine because we need to get this bad boy tore apart to get to the machine shop. So I'm going to take this apart first, and then we're going to put this on the block, on the stand, so that way we can tear this apart to find out the problem with this engine. I kind of lied. I ended up taking off a tiny bit more than what I said I was going to. I was curious to see how the front water neck was on this engine since it was sealed off on the actual plate. As you can see the plate there. So I have both of the cam. You have to take off the cam gears and all that because they go on top of this cover, and this cover is held on by that. But this right here is what I was curious about. So it looks like they have the threads in the head. It's just this part here is blocked off. So as you can see on this one, it's not blocked off. So I guess the heads are identical as well. Push that other engine to the side. Let's start tearing this bad boy down. Let's have it all the way torn apart by tonight. That way we can get the head and the block to the machine shop, get everything machined, get that all situated. And while that's at the machine shop, because it'll probably be there for like 2 weeks or so, we can tear this apart, figure out what's going on with this one, and we can also get back to the engine bay and clean up the whole engine bay. Ow, bitch. look at that. We'll pop this bad boy off right here, the tensioner. And bam. Now don't forget your Woodruff key. Get off, you bastard. There you go. Take the idler off. Loosen the whole belt up. And as you see, the cam moved. Release some tension. And I'm just going to slide this Johnny off of her. It might move again because the valve springs are under tension. But bam. Now, I gonna mark this. I have a little piece of cardboard box like set up pretty much, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna do to match everything up here. This would be the intake side, this would be exhaust side. Each cam cap has a number on it. So as you see here, this one says number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. Same with this side. I'm going to loosen these up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it by slow turns throughout. What can happen is you can actually break the cam, bend it, or so on, because these valve springs are actually under a lot of pressure. When you want to do it in equal steps. I'm going to do that real fast, and then I'll get back to you guys. I'm also going to take off this front cover, which is only these 10s right here, all 6 of them, and this will come off. So here's an example of what I was saying. I have all the parts taken off, and I matched it exactly how it came out of there. So that's how we're doing it. We got everything out. Now, just gonna pop this fuel rail off, and then we're gonna pop this head off. We're gonna try and crack some of these bad boys loose and take this head off. Shabam! Got that Johnny off pretty good, pretty quick. Bam, baby! Damn, O-ring was in there good. In reality, there's not much more we really have to do to get this thing fully torn apart. Obviously, we have the water pump that we gotta take off, and then you have your front oil pump. You also got your oil pan and the oil pressure sender. So, oh, that's a good one. So you can actually loosen it up from the top. There is I don't even know what size it is because I didn't take it off that way, but you can get a deep socket on there and do it. But I took it off back here. You know, there's a fitting right here to loosen it up on, so that's what I did here. So we got the sandwich plate. There might be some coolant left in here. We'll find out now. And no, does not appear to be any coolant in there. We're about to flip this engine. Any oil or anything that was left that we really can't get out, just by draining out the oil and so on, will all come back out onto the floor. So I'm going to put some shop towels on the floor because it will leak, it will continue to drip. Alright y'all, this is day 2. Last night my camera completely died and I didn't even notice it, and it was kind of like a funny scenario. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what, this bad boy's got all the oil out of this bad boy, you know. So I got this all set up. I'm like, all the oil's out of here. Let me just flip the bad boy. No, not at all. Look at this shit. This pile of fucking oil. Fucking hella shit came out. Yeah, so guess lesson learned. Should have just fucking drained it anyway, but I figured, you know, it's been on here for fucking like 7 months. Probably been done. No. It was not done. So I had made a big ass mess. You guys didn't even see it because I think the clip ended off with me taking off the bolt to this pump. Yeah, so what I'm about to do now is drain the rest of the oil out that didn't come out and get it into the pan so we can flip it over, get the oil pan off, and then pop the pistons out because that's the only thing we have to do left before we take it to the machine shop. Alright y'all, round 2. Oil will come out. It's gonna happen. Give these just a love tap. Didn't want to smack it out like that, but I couldn't seem to get it out any other way. Okay. So this is where I'm going to end the video off here. We got the whole engine disassembled, how we're going to take it to the machine shop. We'll let them take anything else apart, and they're going to check the clearances that we need to have checked for the main bearings, because just from the last time with the SR20, we had to get it machined for the fact that with the main stud ARP, it's a lot tighter. So I'm just going to give it to them all as one, tell them just go ahead, get it all checked out, cleared out, so that way everything is good. And we're going to have the block completely freshed up, cleaned up, everything looking nice and brand new. We're also going to take the head over to them as well so they can clean that up. I also have to give them the piston so they can bore it out to the right diameter. Now the next video, I'm probably going to tear down the rest of this engine, the other one, because I want to figure out what the problem was with that engine. And then from there, we're going to jump into this engine bay and we're going to start tearing everything out of this engine bay. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again. We're going to continue rolling out Miata content, so stick around.